I shut it off before it connected. Alright. Let's just get this out of the way real quick. And we'll go on with our evening, alright? Is that too bright for you? I didn't realize it was pointed at you there. Let me do that. How's that? Better? Alright. Hello! Welcome to my tube. My name is Margie. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. And being Heyoka, you're always feeling some kind of way. Hey girl, you gonna hit that hydration station? She said, nope, I'm not in the mood. She's not in the mood. So, I had kind of an interesting turn of events this evening. I didn't like my attitude, honestly, in the last talk that I did. And whenever I feel like that there's too much of something, you know, sometimes if I think my talks are like too sugary and too positive, that don't happen very often. But I'd probably come back on later and add a little salt. I just like to keep things balanced, you know. I just like to keep things balanced. And I thought I was a little bit crass. I can be crass. People can construe me as crass. Or rude. Or Mom used to say, are you being rude and insensitive? You're being rude and insensitive. I know how to be sensitive. I just don't like it when other people aren't. Then I get insensitive. And very rude. Anyway. So we were sitting here earlier, I was in the bathroom because I was getting water for the, I don't want to get into it. I was doing a chore. Seems like that's all I ever do. I was doing a chore and I heard this thud. And I had one ear open. And I came out and I was like, Mom, did I just hear a noise? And she's like, yeah, there's something fell. And I was like, okay, what could have caused something to fall, you know? And so I come around the kitchen and I see Stan Lee, and Stan Lee's like standing up in the window in the kitchen, and his tail is just real fluffy. And he's just like he's agitated. And there was no screen on the window. And there's like, the cats were outside and stuff, and Sally's not an outside cat. He's a lover. He's not a fighter. He's been in fights and he's gotten hurt. So we just prevent that behavior. So I was like, all right, well, we can't have that. That window is like, you know, breezy. We get a cross breeze. I'm big on cross breeze and stuff like that. And so we can't have the screen not, and so I will go outside and I pick up the screen and I look and see if I can repair it. And all four of the little plastic pieces in the corner, all four of them broke. So I was like, well, Stan Lee likes to sit in the window, so we use that window a lot, so we can't have it just open like that. So I was like, all right, Mom, I'll be back. I'm going to Wally World. This was like 5:30. That's why I changed the times of my talks, because it was because this came up. And so I went up to Wally World and I got the thing, you know. And that's the thing is, and that's how I look at it is I have a choice to look at things when things come up in life, you know, these little undulations, these little hiccups, these little speed bumps in life, when they come up, you know, I can get all caught up and just like, why is this happening? I just, bleh, all that stuff. Or I can look at it as like attention diversion. Like, all right, Marge, you're not coming up with, you know, you need something to do. Well, then God gives me something to do. So I spent the better part of 45 minutes or an hour making a screen. I hate that kind of stuff. I mean, I like it, but it's just like I got a bad back, so I'm like laying on the ground, and it's not as easy for me to do stuff like that as it used to be. And so I get it done, put it in the window, and Stanley's happy as can be. you know. And it just reminded me about things in life, is that we have choices every day. We have choices, you know, and I've been trying to make positive choices. I've been trying to, like, whenever I start getting frustrated, you know, I've been, instead of freaking saying anything negative, or, you know, being rude and insensitive, or taking out on anything else, you know, having a bad attitude, I've been working out. I've been doing sets of just the dumbbells, and I just do that, you know, 100 times, 25, 4 times, 5, 6, 7 times a day, you know. It keeps that extra energy that I don't know what to do with right now. I mean, shoot, you know, if this was my house, I'd spend all my energy fixing it up, but it's not my house. You know, it's not my place. Kitty, kitty, kitty. So, when I know that the potential, when the energies are, like, it's Scorpio moon. I know what happened. It's a Scorpio full moon. It's like the biggest full moon. I like how they say that. We're 3 months into the year. The biggest full moon this year. They just say stuff, man, just to try to just freaking entice people. Oh, fabulous prizes. So, and when I don't use my energy wisely, that's when the negativity starts setting in. Okay? And it's taken me a lot of years. See, when I was a little girl, I was not allowed to get mad. I couldn't get, because I would lash out and throw I said I threw tantrums. People call them meltdowns. People call them whatever, you know. Mom, I think, is the only person that understood that I was trying to do it. What I would do is, like, I would freaking throw myself on the ground, and I would freaking tighten myself, like, tighten every muscle in my body, right? And I just, and I just about hold my breath and just, and then what would happen is, like, I would reach this point that it was like I would get past the maximum of measure of suck that I was experiencing. And then it was the release. It was the release. Because, and then that, I was just like, you know, go into like this like meditative state kind of a thing. But it was the release. It was just like, you know, I couldn't understand what was happening, you know, around me or whatever. Oh, there's a bunch of... sorry, I thought that it was not for me. But I wasn't allowed to get angry, you know. So I stuffed a lot of stuff, you know, and I internalized a lot of things. And when I started smoking. First time I smoked marijuana, I was 12 years old, you know. And I was like, oh, there's the release without having to freaking get in trouble, right? There's the release. The all the tension that my body held would let go. I only did it a couple times, like 1 week, and then I didn't do it for a year until a few years later, you know. And then I found alcohol, and whoa, this is even a greater release. But the thing is what I needed to learn to do was to look at all the reasons why I needed the release, you know. Why do you need the release? You know, I always hear people talk about creating lives that they don't want a vacation from, that you don't need to vacation from, you know. You know, I've seen people here and there, they've created lives for themselves like that. I would like to. I've tried it. I don't know. It's like God has a different plan for me. So it's like whenever I try to do something the way I want to do it, and if it don't fit into His plan, it just don't pan out. And then I'm like, all right, shift gears. Where are we going now? What are we doing now? You know, it was not my plan. It was never my plan to come to New Mexico. No, this was not on my radar. But this is all, for whatever reason, God wants me here, right now, and it's because I'm here. So is Mom and all the dogs. You know, because this is where He brought us. And it's funny because people around here talk about how the mountain summons people. They call people here. You know. So, because as a result of not being able to express myself the way I wanted to, or you know, I didn't get to, you know, I didn't get to do. We were really, really limited. we're really limited. And like I grew up on welfare. It's like I was 18 years old the first time, but I always worked. I got my first job when I was 15. Because I wanted to buy school clothes. Because I was sick of freaking crappy secondhand clothes and stuff like that, So I learned from a very young age that if you want anything in this life, you have to go out and you got to work for it and earn it yourself. That's how it used to be. Now there's so many freaking, I don't know. What are they? Trust fund babies and stuff like that. All these people that have gotten in positions. It's like, how do you determine what's right for so many people based on like poli-sci degrees and shit like that? You know what I mean? And it's just weird. It's weird. So, I've been seeing for a few years now. I've done over 1,500 videos. If people go back and look at my talks from 3 years ago, I talk about things that are happening now, and now I talk about how I see things that are going to be a little bit down the road, And ultimately, the most important thing that people need to do is not get too far caught up in what's happening in the world, because they're forgetting to care about the present moment and care about how many people go choose work and money over their loved ones and their families and stuff like that. I think more people do that than not. I saw the census. What is this? Like the way they count every human being? Yeah, I think they count people, and I don't think that they remove numbers after people die or move from states. There is no way there's 331 million people in this country. I've driven all over this country, and I've been on a lot of stretches on a lot of highways where people aren't. See, well, what I think that they do is they say, well, there's 2 million people in this, so we need a budget to account for all the poor people that, the senior citizens and the people, they get billion-dollar budgets, but the numbers don't add up. The numbers do not add up. I spent an afternoon, several hours, a couple years ago, just counting up the number of people in the counties, in each county in California. And it added up to like 24 million. At the time, they said there was 32. I'm like, no, there's not. There's not. There's never been as many people on this planet as they said they were. But if they tell you freaking 50,000 people die, did they really? Did they? That's what these folks that put themselves, that anyone that gives themselves authority, the authority that they invest in themselves. They vest authority. 90% of the authority in this planet or on this country couldn't change a freaking tire. If they got stuck on a deserted island, they'd be dead in 3 days. Yet they are the authority. It's a freaking cracks me up, dude. It cracks me up. Oh, Mom, you didn't have no ice cream today, huh? Shoot. I'll have to get you some ice cream here in a minute. I'm almost done. I just, it's easy to sit in your crap when you're having hard days and freaking feeling sorry for yourself and doing all that stuff, and this is another, I've done it, I can do it. It's just better when you're having days like that to do something, anything, to just get busy and just get out of your head. How many people are stuck in their heads every day? They're constantly thinking. That's why I'm always trying to stay busy, so I'm not thinking. It's a dangerous neighborhood up here. I do, and I meditate every day, so I can imagine, or not every day. There, because some days that the energies just aren't. But most days I do. Even if I'm freaking just being still for an hour, I do that every day. Even though I don't fall in a meditate state. Sometimes I use binaural beats. Sometimes I use classical music. You know, it's just not jumping on any freaking idea train. You know, or looking at ideas. I've heard a lot of analogies. You know, thoughts are like clouds. Don't jump on it. You know, let it poof. Or balloons or whatever, you know. So, every day we're alive is a good day. Every day we're together is a good day. You know. And as soon as I freaking, every time I freaking take my focus off my gratitude, that's what happens. She need it? Yep. Come on over. Stretch your legs. Come on, Sass. Yeah, she is. Hurry up. Come on, you coming? Come on. Come on. Come over. I think about this story that I hear about, or that I heard about. It was like, Mom used to take us to churches and stuff like that, but our churches were in like, I don't know, like the Days Inn, you know, motel and stuff like that. They had the literature and books and stuff in the back at the end. And like church, I don't know, we were always seekers, you know, we're seekers. And that was the first time I heard this story, and there's a storm coming. There's a storm coming, and the flood waters start to rise. And a man's at his house, and people, some first responders in a boat come rowing up, and they're like, "Come on, you got to come with us, man. The flood waters, they're raising. You got to come with us. You got to get out of here. You're going to die." And the man's like, no, I have faith in God. God's going to save me. God's going to save me. So the boat's like, whatever, dude, takes off. Then the water, and then it rises a little bit higher, you know. And then what was it? It was like the first, anyway. I'll just fast forward to the end. Or not fast forward, but then he's like, the waters rise, and then he goes up on the roof, and then a helicopter comes. And the helicopter goes, you know, come on with the bullhorn, you gotta come with us. You know, they drop the ladder down, come with us, you're gonna die. The man's like, no, that's cool, I'll be alright, God's gonna save me, God's gonna save me. And then, you know, he drowns, and then goes to heaven, and he runs into God, and he's like, God, what's the deal? I thought you were going to save me. I had all this faith in you. And he's like, you know, who do you think sent the freaking boat and the helicopter, you know? You know? And that's kind of where I see what the world's heading right now. It's like, you know, if people are getting intuition, and that intuition is driving them for more of the same, money, property, prestige, you know? It's really sad to see all these big cities. You know, it's like they all got this money and these breaks and stuff, you know, from the world being shut down, but there's still buildings being built, you know. It's like, but you can spend freaking millions of dollars on new buildings that are all made of glass and stuff like that, you know. But they're not. It's an imbalance, and it's an imbalance. You got to take care of people first. Ever since I was a little girl, they've been talking about, oh, it's got to get worse before it'll get better. Well, it's been getting worse for about 35 years now. So now I do believe that God is going to intervene. Or not intervene. He doesn't really intervene. But he's just going to show more people that they're out of balance, I think. You know, and that could happen to me. I could get some huge life lessons, man. I'm getting a little skittish in my old age, so I don't really need so much of this freaking scary stuff, I tell you that. But anyway, I feel a little bit better about this talk than the one earlier. So, that's about all I got for now. Oh, I think that's what happened is I overcompensated because I never got to let and then I got to a place where I was so angry I just would take all my anger out on everybody. But now I think I'm finally at 47 years old. I think I finally reached a point where I have a balance in that, you know. And I don't always act the way I want to act. I mean, that's not true. I don't always act the best way, and like, you know, sometimes I hear God, don't say it, and blah, there go my ego, I say it anyway, you know. But we're spiritual beings having a human experience. The best I can do is to freaking add more positive in this world than negative on any given day. So if I can do that, then I guess I'll try again another day. It's about all I got for now. Hope you have a right evening. Peace.